Hello, and welcome back to the laundry room. I haven't been here in a long time. In fact, it's been about 8 months. GE recommends cleaning this weekly, and most of the videos that I've watched recommend cleaning it at least monthly. Well, it's me. It's been 8 months. Now, if you just want to get through, see what the cleaning process looks like, then skip on to the next chapter and we'll get into that. But first, let me give you my little 8-month review. I love this thing. I am so sorry that I didn't buy it sooner. If you watched the original video, which I'll link up here somewhere, I talked about dithering back and forth for months, probably even almost a year or two before I pulled the trigger and bought it. And I'm so sorry because it is so wonderful. It has just operated flawlessly for a long time. The ice is great. I live alone, so it's just me and occasionally a guest or two. But I've never even run close to running out of ice, and I never even run short. Well, except when I forget to add water. It says add water right now, but I didn't add water because I knew I was going to be about to clean it, and one of the things you have to do is drain all the water out. But no, this is fantastic. I will give you some tips. First tip is when you get ice out, push the ice to the front because the ice falls in the back into this thing. So if you push the ice to the front, then more ice can fill in. See, now it's making ice again, even though it's out of water. I'm going to take all the ice out so I can put it in the freezer, and then when we're done with this process, but see, there's a ton of ice in here. Let me go stick this in the freezer. So I haven't had a lick of trouble. I do have a little bit, well actually, no, it rubs right off. If you recall from the last video, you can't leave this sitting on this little thing because it sets off vibrations. So I've set up there, and let's get into the cleaning, shall we? I know that wasn't much of a review, but what can I tell you? It works great. I love it. And one of the things that the video said to check is this little valve. It goes back there. That's how it knows if the drawer is open or closed. But they had mold growing in there, and I got nothing. The water is really good in the Memphis area. We have really great tap water. And so I just don't see a lot of buildup of anything anywhere. For example, one of the videos I watched, they had mold growing along in here. I got nothing. Nothing. First thing you have to do is drain it. Pull the pipes, we'll drain that all out. As you can see, I don't really have anything. There's no buildup of anything. Well, here's the big test. This is the filter. And I see nothing on it. I mean, I can see through it. I can see the thing. I mean, I'll clean it, but... So apparently, if you live in Memphis, letting it go for 8 months without cleaning it is acceptable. But in some locations, like I said, if you go watch other people's videos about cleaning this thing, you'll discover that they have problems. People have mold issues. Oh, and hard water. If you live in a place with hard water, it can get all scaly in here. But again, as you can see from my filter, there's nothing. So now I need 5 cups, but a teaspoon of bleach. There are videos on YouTube of people using vinegar instead of bleach, if you want something a little more natural. While that's running, I'm going to use a sponge to clean out in here. This thing is amazingly clean. I mean, it's had water running through it for 8 months. Slight discoloration at the back, which is, of course, where the ice falls in. So this is where the most water hits it. Surprisingly clean. I'm picking up like nothing. Apparently the cleaning process and how often and how hard you have to work at it will vary by the water used in your location. I've been very lucky in my life. I lived in New York City, which has fabulous tap water, and now I live in Memphis, which has fabulous tap water. There's nothing in here. Okay. Now, because I ran bleach through here, I now have to run the cleaning cycle 3 more times with just water to get the bleach out. Clean out the side tank as well. Okay, that's all drained. We'll run 5 more cups of water through here. Just used my Apple Watch. The cleaning sounds here are about 58 decibels. And it's about the same as when it makes ice. Between 52 to 58 decibels when it's making ice. Well, because it's running the same motors. So it's not whisper quiet. But on the other hand, it's not that loud. I think I mentioned in the original video that I'm glad I have it in here because it is a little louder than most of the other kitchen appliances. So if it was in the kitchen proper around the corner here, it would probably annoy me a little bit more. But I have run this sponge all through this thing and in here, and it is still bright yellow. It's not picking up any dirt or scum or algae. And the clean is done again. Never had a lick of trouble. The only trouble I have, which as I told you at the beginning, is the ice piles up in the back. So if you haven't gotten ice out in a while, well, it'll start melting and then the water runs back through and gets refrozen. But you end up with all the ice piled up in the back and none in the front, and then you don't have enough ice. Which is why, again, every time I get ice, I use the little guy to shove all the ice to the front. I'm just really impressed with this filter, which is like nothing on it. They sell fancy, this is just a little mesh filter for, get up big impurities. They sell actual filters that fit into that slot back there where this goes. So this big filter, but I figured I'd run it for a while without, and seeing as that there's nothing in it, the ice has been tasteless. I mean, well, it tastes like ice. Colorless. There's never been any. Well, you can see there's nothing here to. Let me get a paper towel. Get down in here in these nooks and crannies. Tiny little bit of schmutz. But yeah, there's no green tinge. There's no nothing. Well, okay, I do have this slight discoloration here where the scoop sits. Again, remember, it's been sitting there for 8 months, so it's not like it was there all of a sudden. It's just slowly been accumulating. This house is clean. So I run all the cycles. Again, there's nothing in the filter, which I now will have to put back. So I'm glad I picked it up to show it to you. Put our filter back. Now one of the tubes goes back up here. But remember, the other tube that says 2B side tank comes around here, plugs into the side tank. We put the side tank back in. It's a little cradle. Turn it back around. Now I will put back the ice that I salvaged. And remember, push it to the front. So now there's a big pile leaning forward and it's all empty back in here, which is where the new ice is going to fall when it starts making ice again. We'll put back the classy little drip plate. That's how you clean it. Now, the bleach is to get rid of germs and stuff. If you have scaling, which again from the hard water, then you use vinegar. So the videos on YouTube where they're just using vinegar, well, yes, they're getting rid of the scaling, but I don't think the vinegar is going to kill the algae necessarily. Maybe that's why they had the green algae growing in their thing, because they didn't use the bleach. But I don't know. That's how you clean one of these little babies. I cannot tell you. I don't have the words to convey how much I love this ice. I do it all day, every day. I have a cup with ice in it and different, iced tea or soda or whatever. And I'm always chewing this ice. I love this ice. This is possibly one of the best investments I've ever made. So if you're on the fence, get one of these. I know they're expensive, but I think they're worth the money. There'll be links down below. But so that's it. That's how you clean the GE profile. Although I don't know how it should be making ice and it's not. There, making ice. Took long enough. I guess it had to reset. So now we're making ice. Well, I saved a lot of the ice, but it's gonna fill it back up. I'll be back to eating ice. So thanks for stopping by. Stop by next week for another surprise video, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.